Before it was Ghana, it was called the Gold Coast, not because they honored our culture, but because they wanted what laid beneath our feet. And for centuries, they took it. First, it was the colonizers, then the corporations. Now, the contracts are digital, the logos are new, but the exploitation is still the same. Foreign companies dig, multinationals extract, and we watch as shiploads of wealth leaves our shores. So Ghana tried something bold, a gold for oil deal. Swap what we have for what we need. Cut out offshore currencies, reclaim control. It sounded like a revolution, but a year later, we ask, where's the fuel? Where's the change? Where did the gold go? Because if we have gold and we still have poverty, then maybe what we need isn't just a new policy. Maybe we need a new mindset. Let's break it down. When the announcement first dropped, it hit the airwaves like thunder. Ghana was going to trade gold directly for oil. No more begging for dollars, no more chasing offshore currencies, no more living in a gold-rich country that couldn't afford diesel at the pump. On paper, it sounded brilliant. A pan-African economic breakthrough. Instead of wasting precious foreign reserves on oil, Ghana would use its own gold, a resource it produces in abundance. Say directly, by bypassing the dollar, the government claimed it could stabilize fuel prices, protect the cedi, and escape dependency. Ministers spoke of sovereign progress, and citizens, tired of fuel hikes and inflations, dared to believe again. 1 year, and we ask, where is the oil? Where is the gold? And more importantly, where are the results? We were told that this will end fuel shortages, but tankers are still lining up, prices are still unstable, and the public is still being left in the dark about how much gold has been used up, who the oil suppliers are, and how the deals are monitored. If this was supposed to be a revolution, then it's one we haven't been invited to witness. And in Ghana, we've seen this before. Big speeches, bold plans, but always benefits for the few, silence for the rest. So let's go back, understand why gold for oil might just be another name for an old trick, and why this strategy without accountability could end up digging deeper holes than the gold it extracts. Before it was Ghana, they called it the Gold Coast, not because the people were rich, but because the land was. Gold flowed through the rivers of Obuasi, it glittered in the sand of Takwa, but from the very beginning, the wealth was not the African. The British didn't come for our smiles, they came for our minerals. They carved roads, not for us to travel, but for wagons to haul our treasure to their ships. They built forts, not for protection, but to guard stolen goods. And long after they left their flag behind, they left something more dangerous, a system where foreign companies, some over 100 years old, hold more rights to Ghanaian gold than the children born in the villages above those mines. From Anglo Gold Ashanti to Newmount Mining, foreign giants came with promises of jobs, schools, hospitals. They said they'd help Ghana develop. They said they would uplift the local economy. But decades later, what has changed? Obuasi, the heart of Ghana's gold empire, is a town where roads still flood, schools still crumble, and locals live in the shadow of billion-dollar profits. Takwa, rich in gold, remains poor in opportunity. And across the country, young men desperate turn to Galamsey, digging illegally, risking their lungs, their limbs, and their futures while watching corporate trucks drive past with legal gold that never touches their lives. Let's ask plainly, if foreign companies have been mining Ghana's gold for decades, why is Ghana still borrowing money to buy fuel? By companies with decades of exploitation is the answer to our oil crisis? You cannot build a past on a future you refuse to fix. And yet, that is what the gold for oil deal is trying to do. Trading our pain without confronting its source. Swapping one dependency for another. Still selling the gold, still importing the oil, still serving offshore agendas. They said gold for oil will ease the pain. That trading gold directly for petroleum products will cut out the middlemen, strengthen the cedi, and reduce fuel prices. But let me ask you, have you felt it? Have you seen the price of fuel drop like gold gold falling from heaven? The gold profits, it touch your pockets? Have you watched transport fares return to sanity? Or are you like the average Ghanaian, still standing at the pumps, still counting coins, and still walking when you should be driving? So let's follow the pipeline. The deal was simple on paper. Ghana will sell its gold to international traders in exchange for oil products, diesel, petrol, and LPG. It was pitched as a Pan-African innovation, bypassing the dollar, resisting inflation. But here's the twist: from foreign suppliers, and the entire transaction passed through offshore logistical giants, not local refineries or African-owned systems. So tell me, where's the sovereignty? Even worse, multiple audits and parliamentary reviews have shown no clear transparency on how much gold is being traded, no proof that the savings are passed down to local fuel stations, no long-term strategy for Ghana to refine its own gold or its own oil. It's a barter, yes, but it's not a revolution. It's a clever way to avoid the dollar without avoiding dependency. We're trading gold so rich it could build factories for oil that vanishes in a tank by next week. Is this policy, or is it a plaster on a bullet wound? Where is the plan to build a national refinery, train local petrochemical engineers, establish regional oil partnerships with Africa itself? Ghana has gold. Ghana has brains. Ghana even has offshore oil reserves. So why are we still importing? Why are we begging for a seat in a system we could rebuild on our own? This is not just about fuel, it's about direction. Because if the vehicle is full of gas but still parked, we're not going anywhere. Before the gold oil deal, before the foreign partnerships, before even the IMF knock-knock rescues, Ghana was a land of abundance. Let's take it back to 1471. Portuguese sailors landed in what they call Elmina, the mine, because even they saw what our ancestors already knew. This land, Ghana alone, was supplying over half of Europe's gold flow. But ask yourself, what did Ghana get in return? Chains, guns, Bibles, contracts. Fast forward, when Kwame Nkrumah led Ghana to independence in 1957, one of his greatest visions was to nationalize Ghana's mineral wealth, so that gold will no longer feed foreign empires but fund local schools, hospitals, and infrastructure. But after the CIA-backed overthrow in 1966, Kwame Nkrumah's dream was fragmented. Successive regimes invited back the same foreign interests Kwame Nkrumah had tried to remove. By the 1990s, with structural adjustment programs from offshore lenders, Ghana was again selling licenses to companies like AngloGold, Newmont, and Goldfields, many of them enjoying multi-decade tax holidays. Ask the people of Obuasi, Takwa, and Prestea, what do you have to show for 30 years of gold exports? Broken roads, unfinished roads, polluted rivers, abandoned schools, mining towns that shine in press releases but stink of poverty in real life. And now, even with a gold for oil strategy: 1. Ghana mines the gold. 2. Foreign traders move it. 3. Offshore systems profit from it. 4. Ghanaians remain in the economic limbo. This is not an accident. This is design. Let me say it slowly. If a system was built to extract, you cannot tweak it into equity. You must rebuild it. And that means stop signing 25-year mining permits with vague royalty clauses. Stop giving 90% of profit to the companies that don't even bank in Ghana. Stop creating policies where local beg for scrap while billions flow abroad. We cannot keep calling it policy when it's daylight robbery in a suit. We have the gold, we have the land, we have the youth, but until we reclaim the terms of engagement, we will remain landlords being evicted from our own houses. Ghana's real wealth is not just the minerals. It's the power to decide what they mean, who they serve, and in what they built. And gold is not the problem. The problem is what we do with it, who we let handle it, and who benefits once it's gone. So where do we go from here? Let's rebuild our systems from the soil up by one, building refineries, not just the roads, because what is the point of mining if we export the raw minerals and import the final product at 10 times the price? Ghana must expand local gold refineries in every major mining district. Hacking. We must have a national gold reserve, not just revenue, right? Right now, Ghana trades gold for oil. A noble idea. But what if we did more, right? Ghana should build a national gold reserve stored in country, back portions of the city with physical gold, not foreign promises. Use that reserve as collateral for intra-Africa trade, not loans from offshore agendas. We say we want sovereignty, but sovereignty starts with what backs your money. Let me take that back. But sovereignty starts with what backs your money. If your wealth sits in London or Dubai, then so does your independence. Ghana must have transparent mining contracts, right? Be it public or not private. Let the people see who owns the mines, who audits the books, who gets paid, right? All mining deals must be published online in plain English and local languages. Let every Ghanaian know what is being traded in their name, because if it's the people's gold, then the people deserve to read the receipt, right? Let's make local communities shareholders. Enough of the extract and go models, right? Ghana's gold towns, Obuasi, Takwa, Prestia, must own equity in every mining project that operates on their land. Not just royalty shares. No, not just royalties, but shares. So that when profits come, schools get built. So that when exports rise, roads gets fixed. So that when board meetings happen, someone from the village is in the room. Until then, we're not partners. We're just servants in boots. What's the point of the revenue if it doesn't change the lives of the people? Let's redirect a fixed percentage of all gold for oil profits into rural electrification, right? Agro-industrial centers, STEM scholarships, youth entrepreneurship fund, and every ounce of gold that leaves Ghana must fuel a generation that can build without it. Because one day the gold will run out. And when it does, will our children inherit wealth or just another apology? Ghana is not a poor country. It is a rich country with poor negotiation strategies. But that's changing slowly, painfully, and it must accelerate because Africa has no more time to waste. To our leaders, don't trade our gold for applause. Trade it for legacy. To our people, stay informed, stay loud, stay ready, because silence is the soil where exploitation grows. Let that sink in. To the continent, do not copy the gold for oil deal, right? Improve it. Make it transparent. Make it accountable. Make it African. And to the youth, your voices is your vote. Your questions are your power. Use them both. This is not just about Ghana. This is about all of us. If one country learns how to turn extraction into empowerment, then the continent will follow. Let them come for our gold. Let them eye our minerals, but let them know the era of quiet exploitation is over. We are watching, we are learning, we are rebuilding, and next time they come with contract, we will bring a new language, ownership.